What's good, YouTube? It's Marshmallon coming back in the next video. So, apparently these new Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi cards, literally Yugi's cards, got spoiled, and it seems like they're based off of Yugi's cards, as well as this drawing that was made by Kazuki Takahashi in some sort of art Yu-Gi-Oh! Original art album. So it's really, really neat that they're kind of going with the original cards that Yugi was playing. And no, we don't mean Dark Magician in this case. We mean the actual little Yugi cards like Gandora, Marshmallon, all those cutesy cards that he actually used against a Pharaoh in their final duel in the last season/episode finale of the original Yugi series. So without further ado, let's dive in and see these cards, because I'm kind of excited. The new card is actually Gandora the Dragon of Destruction, Yugi'S, and of course, if you guys don't know Gandora, these are a series of destruction dragon monsters. Actually, we're still missing one of them, I think, called Gandora Yugi'S X, who was used in an FTK deck, I believe, in the OCG, but we still not gotten in the TCG after, like, what, 5 or 6 years? Anywho, not to deviate any further, Gandora the Dragon of Destruction, 0/0, level 8 Dark Dragon monster. You can only use the effects once per turn if you control a gold Sarcophagus of Light. Okay, so we're getting like a gold Sarcophagus retrain? Interesting. You can special summon this card from your hand. Interesting. Okay, it gains 300 attack for each Spanish cards. I think all of the Gandora monsters actually share this effect. So it's almost like a Grand Maju now that I think about it. A Grand Maju gets, what, 400? So this gets 300? Technically, in a Grand Maju deck, this might be devastating. Okay, you can pay half your life points, destroy as many cards on the field as possible, and if you do, banish them, other cards, by the way, then special summon one level 7 or lower monster from your deck that mentions Gold Sarcophagus Light, and if you do, increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. Interesting. So, in other words, this has the effect to effectively banish the entire field Judgment Dragon effect, except himself, and then you can summon a level 7 or lower monster from your deck. Interesting. This is actually decently good as long as Gold Sarcophagus is playable. Let's see what it does. Oh, Silent Swordsman and Retrained. Wow, this is like a baby little Silent Swordsman. I really, really like that. But it's kind of odd that he's level 4. Because the original ones, I think Silent Swordsman level 2 was it? Or level 3? He was like the baby one. And then level 5 was the teenage one. And then level 7 was the adult one, I think. There was also a retrain of Silent Swordsman that was also level 4 that seemed to be like a teenage guy that's, I think, actually in the artwork behind that. But anyways, Silent Swordsman 0, you can only use the effect once per turn. Once per turn during the standby phase, increases card's level by 1. Okay. Kind of an homage to the original card. I think it said send itself to summon a high level higher during the standby phase. Obviously, this is not very relevant. While this card's current level is higher than its original level, its attack gains equal to the difference times 500. Okay, so you can technically gain a lot of attack. I guess you can special summon this guy off of the Gandora. Depending on the amount of cards you pop, he actually gains attack. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Gold Sarcophagus of Light or a monster that mentions it, you can quick effect, negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. Okay, so anti-targeting, quite nice. Okay, just once per turn, but effectively hard negating any targeting effects that target a monster, including itself. Very, very nice. Okay. Ooh, Silent Magician 0. Baby Silent Magician. Okay, very, very nice. They kind of deviated from whatever the heck they were going for with that one art for the Silent Magician retrain. But okay, we're back to Baby Silent Magician. Once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, increase its levels by the number of cards drawn. Okay, while this card's current level is higher than the original level, it gains 500 for each level. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, increase the card's level by 1. Okay, wow. This is actually a lot better than the Silent Swordsman, because he can actually negate spell cards or effects once per turn while you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light. So this could actually be relevant. I mean, I wonder if there's somewhere to actually compact these guys in an engine, depending on how good Gold Sarcophagus of Light is. Because negating spell cards is obviously devastating in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame. Like all the board breakers and stuff on starters, even high impact cards are effectively spells. So you guys know how broken Tricolored Beast is. This could, have a similar effect if it's playable. Oh, we got a trio of gadgets? Okay, Tricolored Gadget. We got Red Gadget, Green Gadget, and Yellow Gadget. Wow, the proportions are kind of interesting. I didn't actually realize Green Gadget was so thick, or is that just like a angle that he's at, the perspective? But I don't know. That's kind of interesting to see all these guys from one card. 1300 attack, 1100 defense, and level 4. I believe these 1300 is actually a mixture or an average of all of their attacks and defense. Quite nice. Hard ones per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can add one Gold Sarcophagus of Light or one spell trap that mentions it directly from your deck to your hand. Oh, wow, this is a Stratos for Gold Sarc of Light or a spell trap that mentions it. So we are also getting spells and traps in the support. Interesting. If the card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can set one Stronghold, the Hidden Fortress, directly from your deck. Okay, we're getting a Stronghold retrain as well. Damn. Wow, okay, I like this card already because you can add basically everything that we've seen up here so far. That is very, very nice. And you can also do it on Special Summon, which is also quite relevant. So if we pen summon this guy out, we do get the effect. Is this Marshmallon wearing his actual glasses? You guys remember Marshmallon, the original one? And he also had Marshmallon's glasses. Very, very cute. Okay, he's level 3. Same stats as the original Marshmallon. Mashy Marshmallon. Okay. He looks so, like, ooh, so educated, like a scholar with the glasses on. Like, I don't know how he works. Is he, like, upside down? Why is his mouth up here? Or is that the eyebrow? I've never realized if that was, like, an upside down smile or if that's the eyebrow. But now kind of looks like the eyebrow. You guys tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. Where's the smile? Or is that the eyebrow, the unibrow? Hard ones per turn. During your opponent's turn, if you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand during your opponent's turn. Okay. While you control Gold Sarc of Light, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent's monsters cannot target other monsters for attacks. Very nice. So he does have the effect combined of both Marshmallon as well as when he's equipped with Marshmallon glasses, which he is in the actual card lore. Okay, very, very nice homage there. So I guess you can summon him out and basically not get destroyed by battle. This card seems really awful. I mean, this is basically like a 15, 20-year-old effect that might have been somewhat relevant. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one of your other Mashy Marshmallons that's banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, so basically you can summon an extra copy from anywhere when he's popped by card effect. So if there's a way to like proc him by card effect, we get a free extender. And then you inflict 1k to your opponent. Okay, very, very interesting, actually. Original Marshmallon also did 1k as well. Because they like, I think in the anime, like someone's monster attacked Yugi's Marshmallon and like bounced back and hit himself. Okay, this card is a play on Mashy, which means more plus extra. Okay, we're finally seeing Gold Sarc of Light here. Wow, this is a retrain of the Gold Sarc. We're seeing like a top-down bird's eye view angle of the original Gold Sarc. This is kind of cool. It's a continuous spell card, a lot like King Sarcophagus, I guess. Kind of related, I imagine. Hard ones per turn. Cannot be destroyed by monster effects. Okay, that's kind of nice. Built-in protection. Maybe this was some sort of effect that was relevant in the anime. I'm not sure. During your main phase, you can add one card from your deck to your hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, except itself. Wow, this is actually not bad. I mean, this is basically a DDD contract, right? You just be able to add during the main phase once per turn. Then if your opponent special summons a monster from your graveyard, you can discard a spell, then target one of those monsters, send it to the graveyard. I think this is referencing something that happened in the actual anime where Yugi somehow stopped Monster Reborn. So this might be like a play on that. I'm just trying to internalize like this effect. I think it's quite good because if you look at this, you can add one card from your deck that mentions Gold Sarc of Light. So effectively off of Tricolored Gadget, what we can actually do is on normal summon, add Gold Sarc of Life, play Gold Sarcophagus of Light, and then use the effect to add any of these monsters. I guess you've already used your normal, so you can actually add the Gandora and special summon them out. So you instantly have 2 monsters on board plus the Gold Sarcophagus of Light. That's actually not awful. I mean, there might be actually a way to potentially splash these guys in it as an engine because they don't actually have any restrictions. I don't see any restrictions. Do you guys see any, like, from doing this, right? It doesn't lock you into anything immediately, so we could also summon out the Gandora. Technically, on our turn, we could actually pop the other 2 cards and then special summon one level 7 or lower monster from our deck, so any of these bad boys, but I guess these guys only get the effects while we have the Gold Sarcophagus of Light on the field, right? Because, yeah, well, you control Gold Sarc of Light. But I guess it's technically an option. It's kind of neat because these guys are spellcasters plus warriors, so there might actually be eventually some kind of relevancy. Obviously, this one's a dragon, so we do have like some fluidity here. We have the different types. We have the options to kind of special summon these guys from deck or to just have a Tricolored Gadget on the field alongside a free Gandora as an extender. This is actually not bad for legacy support. I mean, guys, usually the legacy support cards are absolutely awful, so this is actually surprising for me. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, there's more cards. Wow, we're not even halfway done scrolling yet. Jeez. Silence of Time, Turn Silence / Turn Silence. So this is the Silent Swordsman hidden attack. So a lot like the Dark Magic attack, the anime attacks. Hard ones per turn. Target a face-up monster you control, increase the level by 3. And if you activate this card in response to your opponent's activation of a monster effect, while you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, negate that effect. Okay, so as long as we have Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, we can effectively use this as a monster negate from anywhere. It doesn't even have to be, literally doesn't even have to be on the field either. That's kind of nice. And then if your monster that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light battles during damage calculation, you can banish this card from the graveyard and the battle phase. This card is not terrible. You can negate monster effects. So technically, if we had this card alongside like one of these starters, we basically have like a Called by the Grave / Cross-Out Designator, right? Because it says if you activate in response to a monster's opponent's monster effect activation, well, you control these, negate that effect. It doesn't say on the field, guys. This is actually not terrible. I mean, I don't know if it's good enough immediately, but this could potentially eventually be splashed down the line. Very nice. Let's keep reading. Ties of the Friendship, or Ties of the Companion. Normal spell card, hard once per turn. If you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, you can special summon 2 cards, level 4 or lower monsters with different names from your hand or deck that mention Gold Sarcophagus of Light, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Not really sure how good this one is because the restriction kind of hurts. But I guess with this one card, effectively, we can summon out all of these guys and basically have a spell negation, a targeting negation, we have Gandora, and we have the gadgets. It kind of floods the board. I mean, it's entertaining, but the fact that we're locked in the extra deck is kind of concerning to me. So I'm not sure if this is immediately playable, at least alongside an engine that we're trying to actually splash into a meta deck. Doesn't seem that good, but the ability to summon out 2 monsters from the deck could be quite relevant. Silence Towards the Future. Okay, this is Silent Swordsman's technique. Interesting. She really doesn't look anything like the retrain of the Silent Swordsman, in fact, or the Silent Magician. But it kind of looks like the original ones, which is nice. But I'm still kind of curious what the heck they did for the retrain. Okay, it's a hard once per turn quick play. Add 1 monster from your deck to your hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, and then if you activate this card during the battle phase where you controlled Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, each player draws until they have 6 cards in their hand? Whoa, what? Okay, this card seems to be part of the engine that we would splash in, right? Because add 1 monster from your deck that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, so we can effectively play 6 copies of Tricolored Gadget as free 2-body extenders. I kind of like where this is going, guys. Actually, like, these cards are really good. And then you have the opportunity, obviously not on turn 1, but on turn 2 or 3, to potentially draw until you have 6 cards in hand. This could actually be somewhat decent. To say we're going second and our opponent somehow dunks their entire combo, I guess technically they would have less than 6 cards in hand. So it's kind of a gamble, but I mean, we would be drawing the cards on our turn. So that means we're still going to have the initiative to play the cards that we drew. So that's actually not bad. I mean, the first effect is already good enough as is, being able to add from your deck any monster that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, so any of these monsters. And then it has a secondary option to potentially have a blowout where we both draw until we have 6 cards. And we can obviously draw more cards if we're the ones activating this, because we can just set cards or do whatever the heck we want with the cards in our hand and try to empty it as much as possible. This is actually really insane if I'm reading this correctly, guys. Like, no restrictions either. Wow, these cards are surprisingly good. I'm not sure if they fit in a deck of their own just by what they do so far. Nothing seems overly oppressive, but as an engine, maybe, just maybe. Okay, the last card, Stronghold, the Hidden Fortress. Very nice, retrain of Stronghold. Oh, kind of like in the anime, I think when all the gadgets actually go into him and he gets like a power-up boost. And in his trap, special summon this card as an effect monster with 2k defense. With these effects, it's still a trap. Gains 1,000 attack for each card you control that is Gold Sarc of Light or a monster that mentions it. Okay, and once per turn, when a monster your opponent controls declares an attack and you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, you can destroy that monster. Okay, so it's like pretty bad, but still kind of interesting that they made an homage to that. I'm a little bit surprised with the other cards, though. I mean, this card is good. This card is decently good as well. Gold Sarcophagus of Light is very good. Marshmallon is pretty bad. Tricolored Gadget is good. Silent Magician is good. Silent Swordsman 0 is pretty bad. And then Gandora is good. So these cards, potentially we can splash them in an engine. What do you guys think? Are there any decks that can actually take advantage of this? Maybe like a Cashier deck or something. I mean, the fact that we don't really rely on the normal summon and these are just free body extenders, and we might be able to actually modulate the levels to make it level 7. And the fact that we basically have a Called by the Grave, which is really, really nice. So maybe there's actually a way to splash these cards in as an engine to take advantage of this Omni Negate for the monster, as well as the fact that these guys put a bunch of cards onto the field. You get the Gold Sarc of Light with the Gadget plus the Gandora, and then you also have the extra 3 copies of whatever monsters that you would splash in the engine with Silence Towards the Future, with the additional opportunity of potentially blowing out your opponent to draw 6 cards in hand. These type of effects really, really concern me because you guys remember cards like, I don't know, like 6 Sense or whatever that just have the opportunity to draw up to 6 cards. I mean, this card is definitely a lot more broken than potentially any card that we had so far besides 6 Sense, because it doesn't have any drawbacks that I'm seeing here. What do you guys think about these cards? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Are there any combos we can take advantage of with these cards? Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.